And the previous problem, we're going to look at that real quick here, was, well, let's get some ink going here. We have 20x minus 30x is equal to negative 100. Now we just looked at it and said, oh, this is what the solution is. But of course the problems are going to get much more difficult. Okay, so we have 20x minus 30x. Since they're like terms, okay, we can say 20 minus 30, which is negative 10, x is equal to negative 100. And what we'll want to do is, well, our goal is to get a 1 in front of this x, a coefficient of 1, and we're going to do that by multiplying. Here I'll use a different color. We're going to multiply the reciprocal of this number, and that would be negative 1 over 10. Okay, and of course what we do to one side we got to do to the other, or they're liable to get jealous. Let's go ahead and put a parentheses around this. So we've got all these negatives here. Now remember, this is not a minus 1/10. That's times negative 1/10. All right. So as you can see, negative 1/10 times, well, let's just say this. A negative times a negative is positive, and 1 over 10 times 10 is 1, right? Is equal to, and now we have a negative times a negative once again, and 100, a tenth of 100 is just 10. All right, it's just a 10. Now remember, we don't write this with a coefficient of 1. We always drop that. All right, so as you can see, our solution to the equation is 10, and we're writing it here in the solution set with the curly brackets. We can always check our work by taking that 10 and plugging it back in to our original equation, n for x. All right. Okay, let's work another one here. Under the topic of linear equations, cut that out, we say. All right, so let's look at one that's got a fraction involved, some fractions. 4 over 7 times x plus 2 is equal to 50. All right. First thing, let's get rid of this constant term, which is a 2. And in order to do that, we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Okay, so we have a negative 2. We have negative 2 and positive 2, and that's going to make it 0. So that's what we're wanting to do. So we're left with 4/7 x is equal to, this is going to be 48 over here on the right hand side. Now once again, we want to get this coefficient of 1 here, and in order to do that, we're going to multiply here. Let's go back and use a different color. 7/4 multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 7/4. And what we do to the left, we got to do to the right also. So as you can see, 7 over 7, that'll cancel the 1, 1, and you have 1 over 1, which is 1. And so now we're left with 1 times x is equal to this guy over here, which should reduce down to 84. I'll let you do the arithmetic on that. All right. So of course we don't write that with a 1 in front of that x. Okay. So we have x is equal to 84. So therefore our solution set contains 84. And we can always check this by plugging this back in to the original equation, and that would be 4/7 times 84 plus 2, and that whole side, this side right here, should equal 50. Okay, so Let's take a break, and then we'll move on to some more examples.